أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها قل لله المشرق والمغرب يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا. وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم من يتبع الرسول ممن ينقلب على عقبيه وإن كانت لكبيرة إلا على الذين هدى الله وما كان الله ليضيع إيمانكم إن الله بالناس لرؤوف رحيم. قد نرى تقلب وجهك في السماء فلنولينك قبلة ترضاها فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره وإن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ليعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وما الله بغافل عما تعملون. ومن حيث خرجت فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره وإن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ليعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وما الله بغافل عما يعملون. ولئن أتيت الذين أوتوا الكتاب بكل آية ما تبعوا قبلتك وما أنت بتابع قبلتهم وما بعضكم بتابع قبلة بعض ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم من بعد ما جاءك من العلم إنك إذا لمن الظالمين. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم وإن فريقا منهم ليكتمون الحق وهم يعلمون. الحق من ربك بالحق فلا تكونن من الممترين. صدق الله العظيم.
माशाअल्लाह। ये है ईसा, हमारे यूसुफ भाई दाना का नवासा। माशाअल्लाह। कहाँ पढ़ता है, कौन इसके उस्ताद हैं? माशाअल्लाह, अच्छा तजवीद से पढ़ता है। माशाअल्लाह माशाअल्लाह, अल्लाह बरकत दे, अल्लाह इसका हिफाज पूरा करा दे। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम, अम्मा बाद। Respected elders, brothers, friends, ladies listening at home, Alhamdulillah wa shukrulillah. 1 week of Ramzan is gone. May Allah accept our tutti-frutti ibadat, forgive our shortcomings, and give us tawfiq to do more. Today we recited and heard in Taraweeh Surah Hud and Surah Yunus and a little bit of Surah Yusuf. Surah Yunus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Quran Sharif. Alif Lam Ra Tilka Ayatul Kitabil Hakim. These are verses of the wise book which is full of wisdom. In it, don't touch it, it keeps moving. Just move back a little bit. Thoda और, that's better. By mistake touch na ho jaye. أكان للناس عجبا أن أوحينا إلى رجل منهم أن أنذر الناس وبشر الذين آمنوا أن لهم قدم صدق عند ربهم قال الكافرون إن هذا لساحر مبين. Is it something surprising for people that we reveal to a person from among them that you should warn people and give good news to those who have Iman, that they will have a firm footing with their Rabb? The Kafirin said, this is only clear magic. So Allah said, this Quran is Allah's Kalam. Allah sent it on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam to warn mankind and to give good news to the Iman wale mu'mineen, that they will have firm footing, high ranking in the eyes of Allah in Jannat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives some advices after this, talks about Akhirat. Allah said, هو الذي جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب ما خلق الله ذلك إلا بالحق يفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون إن في اختلاف الليل والنهار وما خلق الله في السماوات والأرض لآيات لقوم يتقون. Signs for people. Allah talks about those لا يرجون لقاءنا ورضوا بالحياة الدنيا, have no hope of meeting Allah, content with the worldly life. وَطْمَأَنُّوا بِهَا, مطمئن on it, relaxed on it. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا غَافِلُونَ, and those who are heedless and ghafil from our signs. Allah said, أُولَٰئِكَ مَأْوَاهُمُ النَّارُ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, their destiny is Jahannam, fire, because of what they had been earning. On the other hand, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ يَهْدِيهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ بِإِيمَانِهِمْ. If you have Iman and Amal Salihah, Allah will guide you because of your Iman. And He will guide you on the straight path until you get to Jannat. تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهِمُ الْأَنْهَارُ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ دعواهم فيها سبحانك اللهم وتحيتهم فيها سلام وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah mentions some other mazmoon of this. لا يرجون لقاءنا. This word is repeated often. إن الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا فنذر الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا في طغيانهم يعمهون. وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قال الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا نأتي بقرآن غير هذا أو بدله. Those who have no hope of meeting Allah, they think this dunya is it. Allah said, when we recite our Quran recited to them, they say, bring another Quran, we don't want to listen to this Quran, or change it. This Quran talks about our idols. Bring another kitab which doesn't talk about our idols. Allah said, قُلْ مَا يَكُونُ لِي أَنْ أُبَدِّلَهُ مِنْ تِلْقَاءِ نَفْسِي. I can't change it on my own. I only نَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. Whatever is revealed to me, I follow that. I don't make it up. إِنِّي أَخَافُ إِنْ عَصَيْتُ رَبِّي عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. If I was to make up Quran, this is ma'siyat. And if I disobey my Rabb, I fear the azab, the huge azab of that mighty day. قل لو شاء الله ما تلوته عليكم ولا أدراكم به فقد لبثت فيكم عمرا من قبله أفلا تعقلون. Tell them, had Allah willed, I would not have recited it to you, and Allah would not have informed you of this Quran. And look, listen, I have stayed with you for 40 years. I never spoke anything like this, but now I am speaking this and I'm saying it's from Allah. Why should I lie? If I was a liar, you would have known me for the 40 years. I would have been a habitual liar. You don't lie, start lying straight away. A person who is truthful throughout his whole life. He never lies. Allah said, tell them, I've been with you for 40 years. Do you not know me? They used to call him before Nubuwwat As-Sadiqul Ameen, the truthful, the trustworthy. This is why they said that Muhammad, you're not a liar, but the Quran you read is a lie. Ajib. You are truthful, but the Quran you're reading is a lie. How twisted was their logic? So Allah talks about truthfulness because Surah Yunus is Makki Surah. And in Makki Surah, Allah focuses on aqaid, beliefs. Allah is rectifying, trying to clean, purify the mushrikeen and guide them, clean them from their shirk and their bad behavior. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions after a few verses, وَإِذَا أَذَقْنَا النَّاسَ رَحْمَةً, that these people, when they are, let's say, in some problem, they call upon Allah. For example, fil fulki, دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Have you seen videos of ships when they are sailing, but the ocean is rough and the waters and the waves are up and down like a tsunami? It seems like all the water is going to come in the sink and is going to in the ship and is going to sink. When they're in that situation, they call upon none but Allah. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, when the pilot of the aeroplane announces, both engines have failed and we are going down, what does everybody say? Oh my God, oh my God. Even the most staunch atheist and agnostic will say, oh my God, save us. God save us, God save us. Where does that God come from? It's hidden inside the heart. You try to suppress it. You try to suppress that belief and yaqeen, but it comes out at times of necessity. It's there. He is there. Allah reminds them, then why do you call upon other gods besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You know, at the time of Fatih Makkah, year 8 after Hijrah, Ramadhan, conquest of Makkah, when Makkah was surrounded, some people fled secretly. One of them was Ikrimah, the son of Abu Jahl. He fled to Jeddah. And from Jeddah, he rode on a ship. Then his ship got surrounded by a huge storm. And everybody was saying, oh Allah, save us. My God, oh God, save us. God, save us. God, save us. Ikrimah also said that if on the water only one God can save us, then on the land as well, only one God can save us. And he said, oh Allah, if you save us from this problem, I will go back to Muhammad and believe in him and declare my Tawheed and Islam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them. Turn it off. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved their ship. And he did come. He came to Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam, embraced Islam. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam was really happy on his arrival. He got up when he heard the news that Ikrimah is here. He rushed towards him and he said, Marhaban bil Raqib al Muhajir. Both hands stretched out. Who is Ikrimah? Son of Abu Jahl. And he tried to defend his father in Badr. And he chopped off the hand of Muaz ibn Afra. Huzur knew that. Staunch enemy. But when he was coming with Islam, he was doing tawbah. Huzur embraced him with both arms out. Why? And Hazrat Ikrimah embraced Islam. Allah said over here that why don't you believe in that one Allah? Why do you keep committing shirk? Then Allah asked him some questions. قُلْ مَنْ يَرْزُقُكُم مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Who gives you rizq? And مَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ. Even 4 or 5 questions over here. All answer is Allah, Allah, Allah. If Allah does everything, why don't you believe in that one Allah? And then Allah again talks about Quran. Do they say that this Quran is fraud? Am yaquluna iftara? Muhammad has fabricated it? All right. Fatu bi suratin mithlihi. وَدْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Produce one small surah like the surah of Quran. You can call whoever you want to help you. But they couldn't produce one surah like Quran. Allah then talks about some other subject of this time. Allah mentions stories of the prophets. Nuh alayhi salam, watlu alayhim naba Nuh, Musa and Harun alayhi salam. Allah mentions how Pharaoh was drowned. When Azab came upon him, Pharaoh said, Amantu annahu la ilaha illa alladhi amanat bihi banu Israel. I believe in that one God in whom Bani Israel believe. Allah save me, I believe in you, please save me, please save me. But Allah responded, Al-an, now you want to believe? وَقَدْ عَصَيْتَ قَبْلُ وَكُنْتَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. You have disobeyed, you have been a mischief maker. فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ. Allah rescued him, saved him with his body. He died, but his body was thrown out of the ocean. And his body still remains in Misr, Egypt, in Cairo. People go to see him. Take lesson from him. He was in his pomp and glory. He had the whole world under his feet. He ruled for nearly 400 years. He never had a headache. He never had tummy ache. He had all the riches around the river Nile. Attendants running around him doing his khidmat. But when he was drowned, finished. His whole army, 600,000 in his army, whole army drowned by Allah. Whole army. Allah mentions this. And then in the next ruku, Allah said, فَلَوْلَا كَانَتْ قَرْيَةٌ آمَنَتْ فَنَفَعَهَا إِيمَانُهَا إِلَّا قَوْمَ يُونُسَ. In the history, there's not been a community upon whom azab came and their iman at that time benefited them except one community, the community of Yunus. Other than that, when azab comes and you see the angels of azab, and then you say La ilaha illallah, Allah doesn't accept that. Because that is iman bil mushahada. Iman with seeing. Allah wants iman bil ghaib, not bil mushahada. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. What happened about Yunus alayhi salam? Now the story of Yunus alayhi salam. Have you heard the story of Yunus alayhi salam? Yunus alayhi salam is one of the great prophets of Allah. He was sent to a people in a city called Mosul in Iraq. He invited them to Allah. They refused to accept. He worked hard, tried his best, nothing was happening. He was fed up. Didn't know what to do. Allah said, Oh Yunus, azab is coming on your community in 3 days. Yunus alayhi salam was scared, shaken. And he rushed a little bit. He forgot to wait for Allah's instruction. Slight mistake. He left. He left with his wife and his 2 children. He said to the people, Khudafiz, I'm going. Whoever was there, azab's coming in 3 days. Now, when he left, he passed by this area, jungle, and one of his sons went near the water. He went after him But he went inside the water and drowned. He tried to save him, he couldn't. He comes back and he sees a tiger or a lion running off with the other son. Now his wife is frantically running here and there, but she can't do anything. Now Yunus alayhi salam went after the other son, and what happened? There was some prince, some king passing by, and he saw this beautiful lady. He kidnapped her. Now when Yunus alayhi salam comes back, he's lost his wife, he's lost his both sons, he's got no one with him. He was really down, and he started walking on the seaside. And he saw a ship. He thought, I might as well ride the ship and go on the other side, because on this side Azab is coming. So there was a ship passing by. He waved at them, and they recognized Yunus alayhi salam. They took him on board. Now, while the ship started sailing, suddenly storm came from nowhere. And they said that this happens, this type of sudden storm happens when a slave has absconded from his masters. So it looks like on our ship there is a person who's run away from his master. Now we don't know who he is. We'll draw lots, and whoever's name comes will release him from our ship, so at least we can be saved. So they start drawing lots, and Yunus alayhi salam's name comes. And they said, no, yaar, you are a very Sufi sahab. You can't have run away from your master. We'll have to draw again. And again Yunus alayhi salam's name comes. And they said, no, can't be right. Third time Yunus alayhi salam's name comes. Said, by Sufi sahab, you have to go. And they take him to the ship deck and then throw him in the ocean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately sends a large fish, comes rushing, opens his mouth, takes Yunus alayhi salam inside. Now the ship is like a submarine. Have you seen submarines? Massive, large submarines. They go inside, they have windows as well, like aeroplane windows, you can see outside. So the fish is gone down to the bed of the ocean and round. Right? Yunus alayhi salam stayed in the belly of the fish for how many days? Ibn Kathir said 40 days. Allah knows best. Now what happens on the other side? Yunus alayhi salam's people see the azab looming on them. And they realize, oh, these thick clouds are coming. It is that azab Yunus said. And they run towards the house of Yunus alayhi salam. Where is Yunus? Where is Yunus? Where is Yunus? He's not there. Then some people said, he's gone. Oh no, what shall we do? Azab is here. So they say, let's get everybody out onto the outskirts. They run out of their homes and huts and out into the open field. They put their women separate, kids separate, animals separate, their men separate, and they start crying, oh Allah, please forgive us, oh Allah, forgive us. We'll do whatever Yunus told us, and we will act upon what he taught us, and we will believe in you, we won't commit any shirk. So the azab had come right above their heads, but then Allah took it back. And they did hold on to their promise. When they saw that the azab is gone, they came back to their homes and they started, doing proper things, give up shirk, tawheed, whatever Yunus alayhi salam had taught them. There were over 100,000 people. وَأَرْسَلْنَاهُ إِلَى مِئَةِ أَلْفٍ أَوْ يَزِيدُونَ. Yunus alayhi salam was in the belly of the fish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the fish to take him to the seaside and throw him out. And the fish came, opened his mouth. Yunus alayhi salam came out, but he was very weak. So he managed to crawl a little bit on the seaside, on the sand. And then he felt he couldn't walk anymore. He was really weak. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in order to show him some sign, grew shajaratam min yaqteen, some sweet gourd, like sakarteti, watermelon, grew up. And immediately it came out plant and fruit and grew. Allah said, eat that fruit. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, sprung some fresh sweet water. Allah said, you need to drink that water. So he drank that water, he ate that fruit, and he got a bit of energy. He felt better. And then he started walking back to his hometown. Along the way, he found his family as well. There was these people on the ship who were saying, by whose child is this? Take him, please. And Yunus alayhi salam waved, he is my child. And the child which was taken by the tiger, he was found alive as well. And that prince who had kidnapped his wife, as soon as he went home, he fell ill. He tried so many medicines, but nothing cured him. Someone said, this could be because you've kidnapped that woman and she looks a pious woman. Send her back to where you took her from, then you recover. So he brought her back. Yunus alayhi salam got his wife and his 2 kids as well, and he came back to his community. And now they were all, mashallah, believers. And Yunus alayhi salam stayed with them and he guided them. This is the story of Yunus alayhi salam, which is mentioned in this surah, and that's why it's called Surah Yunus. And towards the end of the surah, Allah again talks about the truthfulness and haqqaniyat of Quran. In the beginning, Quran is true. Ending, Quran is true. قل يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم الحق من ربكم فمن اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فقل إنما أنا من المنذرين ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها وما أنا عليكم بوكيل واتبع ما يوحى إليك واصبر حتى يحكم الله وهو خير الحاكمين. Quran is haq. Follow the Quran. Will you follow the Quran, inshallah? Read the Quran. Practice on the meaning and message of Quran. Whatever Quran says is true. If Quran says this is jaiz, that's because it is good for you. If Quran says this is not jaiz, not allowed, because it's bad for you. Halal, haram, jaiz, najaiz, faraz, wajib, sunnat, mustahab. Whatever Quran teaches us, we have to learn it. تعلموا الفرائض والقرآن وعلموه الناس فإني امرؤ مقبوض. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that learn the fara'is, learn the Quran and teach people, because I will be taken away from here. Right? Your ulama, your asatiza are with you. Learn from them. They will also die one day. There will be nobody to teach you after that. And you will cry upon their departure. But your crying will not benefit you. So, this is the message of Surah Yunus. Surah Hud, similar message. Starts with Quran. Alif Lam Ra Kitabun Uhkimat Ayatuhu. Thumma Fussilat Min Ladun Hakimin Khabir. This kitab is such that its ayat and verses are very powerful. Powerful verses. Very strong verses. You know, this person, Christian, embraced Islam. She writes in her biography that I was a devout Catholic. And I had so many questions, but the vicars and the priests would not answer them. They would just say, you just believe in it. But I said, but explain this Trinity to me. 3 in 1, 1 in 3. They could not explain it. So I started searching other religions. I studied Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, other religions, but still many questions remained unanswered. She says, then I came upon Islam. I started studying Islam. I read the Quran. And she writes, oh, Quran is so powerful. She said, you can't understand the power of Quran unless you have been deprived of it before. If you didn't have it and then you got it, then you will realize the power of Quran. Sahaba, they didn't have it. But when Rasulullah recited to them, they immediately succumbed and surrendered themselves before Quran. She says, all I can say is that let's say there is a large building in which there are many, many small rooms, and you go in every room, and there are some nice, little interesting things, some candles, little bit of light, some souvenirs. You open one room, another room, another room, another room. Then you open this large hall. As you enter, there is this spotlight, and your eyes are dazzled. You can't comprehend it. You cover your eyes with your hands and fingers, and then you open your fingers a little bit, and you start taking in that light little bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, and then you are able to grasp it fully. She writes that the other rooms are the other religions, and this hall with that spotlight is the room of Quran. The nur of Quran is extremely powerful. You have to look at it slowly, slowly, then you realize the power of the Quran Sharif. And this is why I say, these young boys, mashallah, our young girls who read Quran Sharif, they have so much nur on their faces. And when they go to school, many times, some teachers might be jealous of that nur. This is why they try to bring in this and that and this and that, but never give in. Be strong. Right? They might try to snatch that nur away from you, but if you remain strong, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep you steadfast on that nur, and that nur and light will remain in your heart. So, Allah started this surah with Alif Lam Ra Kitabun Uhkimat Ayatuhu Thumma Fussilat Min Ladun Hakimin Khabir Allah ta'budu illa Allah Innani lakum minhu nadhirun wa bashir wa an istaghfiru rabbakum thumma tubu ilayhi ila akhir ayat. In here again, when the 12th Sipara starts, Allah said, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. All creatures on the earth, their rizq and feeding, sustenance is duty of Allah. Allah provides for them. Right? Shall I tell you a story? Hazrat Sheikh Maulana Zakaria Sahab, Rahmatullah alayhi, writes in Fazail Sadaqat that this teacher, Muslim teacher, said to the students that no matter what you do, your rizq will come to you. No matter what you do, your rizq will come to you. And he mentioned Allah is Razzaq. Inna Allahu wa Razzaqu zul quwwatil mateen. Allah feeds, Allah provides, Allah gives us money, Allah gives us food. Now he didn't mean that we don't work for it. Right? But one boy came home and he was stubborn. His mother said, Beta, I've made nice biryani for you and some laddu. Have this biryani and these laddus. And he said, no, I'm not eating it. And she said, eat it. He said, no, I'm not. Why? Because my ustad, my teacher said today that no matter what you do, your rizq will come to you. What is yours won't go down any other person's throat. I'm going to see how Allah feeds me. She tried to explain and reason with him, but this is not what Ustad meant. Ustad meant that your rizq is fixed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings it to you one way or the other. But When we cook food, we have to stretch our hand, we have to put the morsel in our mouth, then our rizq will come to us. We have to work for it. He said, no. So his mom said, eat, eat, eat. When she pestered him, he got angry and he went out of the house. And he kept walking, walking, walking. He went to the outskirts on the graveyard. So his mother took that biryani and those laddus and went out for him, looked for him. She said, eat it with us. No, I'm not eating it. So she left it there. When he feels hungry, he'll eat it. Now he was sat there with that beautiful biryani and the laddus. Some bandits, robbers, passed by. And they saw this young boy with fresh, cooked biryani, garam garam, zafrani, khushbu, and laddu. So they said, Yaar, bhook lagi hai, we're feeling hungry, and we got food here. So they came to the boy, and they took the food away. The boy didn't say anything, he just sat there like this, quiet. Now they were suspicious. Yaar, we are stealing his food, and he's not even saying anything. It is possible that there might be some poison in the food. Let's feed him first and then see what happens. So one got hold of him, the other opened his mouth, and the other forced, ye bhi kha, check this, check this, check this. And when they were satisfied, they had no poison in it, then they ate their food. So now the boy came back home, said, my teacher was right. Sometimes you are fed by the right. Alarm off kar dene. Won't you alarm off kar dene? तेरे कहीं स्मोक निकली हुआ है. कहाँ फायर अलार्म ऑन थियो? Okay, they sorted out. Illa alallahi rizquha, but we have to work for our rizq. This is what Allah said on the first ayat. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to mention haqqaniyat of Quran, stories of Anbiya alayhimus salam, Nuh alayhi salam, and the flood, how his community was drowned, Hud alayhi salam, and the storm, hurricane, whole community destroyed, Saleh alayhi salam, and the earthquake, and the whole community is gone, Lut alayhi salam, and how his people used to misbehave and commit liwatat, sodomy, and how Allah's azab came upon them, and Shu'aib alayhi salam. If we see these communities, Nuh alayhi salam's people had so much takabbur in them. Same with Hud alayhi salam. Saleh alayhi salam's people, Samud, they used to farm and grow plants and fruits, and they used to make various types of fruits and foods and delicacies, and they used to carve homes in mountains. And Lut alayhi salam's people used to commit shirk and liwatat, sodomy. And Shu'aib alayhi salam's community were businessmen. They used to cheat people, commit fraud. Now these are the main gunas and sins within the society. Allah mentions these stories to teach us, to learn from them and get rid of these bad habits. Allah then mentioned Pharaoh and his condition, how he was drowned. And then Allah said, وَكَذَلِكَ أَخْذُ رَبِّكَ إِذَا أَخَذَ الْقُرَى وَهِيَ ظَالِمَةٌ. When people are committing wrong and doing injustice, then that is how we seize them. إِنَّ أَخْذَهُ أَلِيمٌ شَدِيدٌ. Allah's seizure is painful and severe. When Allah grabs hold of a community, He doesn't let them go. One hadith says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيُمْلِ الظَّالِمِ حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذَهُ لَمْ يُفْلِتْهُ. Allah gives time and respite to the zalim, the oppressor, the unjust. But when Allah grabs hold of him, He doesn't let him go. Then he is finished. Like Pharaoh, when Allah took hold of him, finished. And these communities, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was angry with them, Allah's azab came, finished. إن في ذلك لآية لمن خاف عذاب الآخرة ذلك يوم مجموع له الناس وذلك يوم مشهود وما نؤخره إلا لأجل معدود. Qiyamah day is coming. We're only delaying it for an appointed term. When everybody comes, they will be there. They will see that day. They will be falling into one of two categories. شقي وسعيد. فأما الذين شقوا ففي النار وأما الذين سعيدوا ففي الجنة. And after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives some advice. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. Do not lean towards those who are zalim and unjust. فَتَمَسَّكُمُ النَّارِ. Otherwise, the fire will burn you. وَمَا لَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِنْ أَوْلِيَاءَ ثُمَّ لَا تُنصَرُونَ. Do you understand the meaning of that ayat? In your schools, you will have some non-Muslim classmates. Do not be influenced by them. وَلَا تَرْكَنُوا إِلَى الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. Do not lean towards them, male or female. Sometimes there might be a girl who's flirting with you, but you have to control yourself. If you lean towards them, then they will invite you towards the fire. أولئك يدعون إلى النار والله يدعو إلى الجنة والمغفرة بإذنه. Allah said. So Allah said, لا تركنوا إلى الذين ظلموا فتمسكم النار وما لكم من دون الله من أولياء ثم لا تنصرون. Finishing off now. Allah said, وَأَقِيمِ الصَّلَاةَ طَرَفَيِ النَّهَارِ. Establish salat in the two corners of the day, morning and evening. وَزُلَفًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ. Parts of the night. إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. Hasanat remove sayyi'at. ذَلِكَ ذِكْرَى لِلذَّاكِرِينَ. وَاصْبِرْ. Do sabr. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Beautiful advices. Beautiful advices. You see all the connection. Allah mentions the state of zalims. Allah tells us, do not lean towards the zalims. And how can you stay away from the zalims and the wrongdoers and the unjust people? By establishing salat, and by doing good deeds, and by doing sabr and being patient, and by doing ihsan and good deeds, because muhsineen's reward is not abandoned and wasted by Allah. Allah then, towards the end of the surah again, Allah said, ولا يزالون مختلفين إلا من رحم ربك ولذلك خلقهم وتمت كلمة ربك لأملأن جهنم من الجنة والناس أجمعين وكلا نقص عليك من أنباء الرسل ما نثبت به فؤادك. We relate the stories of these messengers so that your heart can be strengthened by it. وجاءك في هذه الحق. In this Quran, the truth has come to you. وذكرى النصيحة للمؤمنين. For the believers. وَقُلْ لِلَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Those who do not have iman, tell them, اِعْمَلُوا عَلَى مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنَّا عَامِلُونَ. You do what you are doing, we are doing what we are doing. وَانْتَظِرُوا. You wait, إِنَّا مُنْتَظِرُونَ. We are also waiting. وَلِلَّهِ غَيْبُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَإِلَيْهِ يُرْجَعُ الْأَمْرُ كُلُّهُ فَاعْبُدْهُ وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَيْهِ وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. Surah finished. Allah has the knowledge of the seen and the unseen in the heavens and the earth. And everything returns to Allah. And Allah is not unaware of what you do. Therefore, always be careful. Whatever you do, whenever you do, wherever you do, however you do, Allah is watching you. The CCTV recording is up there. Your whole life is recorded. And it will be replayed, rewind, and played in front of you on the day of Qiyamah. Be mindful of that. See the beautiful message of Surah Hud. Then it's Surah Yusuf. Yusuf alayhi salam story. You all know story. Yusuf alayhi salam story. Huh? You know it. Then tomorrow you have to sit on this chair and tell the story to everyone. Okay? Inshallah, we'll talk about Surah Yusuf tomorrow, inshallah. But you see the beautiful message of Surah Yunus, Surah Hud, Quran, Allah's book, true book. Follow it, practice on it, learn from it, take lessons from the previous nations and how they misbehaved, what happened. And those who behaved good, how Allah rescued them, saved them. You know, the azab is coming, but the believers are not affected by it. They are there, but nothing happens to them. Is this not a miracle? Right? It's a miracle. Allah rescued. وَنَجَّيْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَأَنْجَيْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. We saved them. We rescued them. Nothing happened to them. Even now, many times, many things come in the world. But if you have proper iman, your iman will save you. Allah won't let anything happen to you. Shall I just mention one thing? We are going through this tough period. Petrol is very expensive. Energy bills are going up. Gas, electric, everything is going up. Food is expensive. Milk has gone up. Right? And things. And they are saying that, it's going to go up more because there is not enough fodder to feed the cows. So they're going to cull many cows, and then the milk is going to be scarce, so its prices will go up. So milk will be up, bread will go up, flour will go up, everything. Sunflower oil already gone off the shelves. No sunflower oil because it used to come from Ukraine. There's war going on. So mehengai, inflation is on the rise. Not only here, around the whole world, everywhere it's affecting. Now, this is not the first time it's happened before as well. Hazrat Maulana Ilyas Kandhalwi Rahmatullah alayh, his son Maulana Yusuf Kandhalwi, he was sitting in Markaz Tabligh Nizamuddin with his friends, and they started talking by chai has become really expensive. Before, it was 1 rupee, 1 cup, but now it's gone up. That 1 cup is for 2 rupees. So it's going to be expensive. So one of them said, well, we'll have to reduce our chai. We'll drink less tea. Hazrat Ji Maulana Ilyas Sahab heard their conversation. And he came out to them and he said, "Bhai, 1 minute. When chai was 1 rupee per cup, who was feeding you the chai? Bolo? Well, that same Allah will feed you when it's 2 rupees per cup. Why are you worried?" Do you get it? That's what we will say now. The whole world can jump up and down. Whatever happens. Allah will look after us, inshallah. We have to manage a little bit of our affairs and leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is Allah. Fa'budhu wa tawakkal alayh. Worship Allah and put your trust in Him. That is what we need to do. May Allah give us tawfiq. May Allah make this period easy for us. Just as Allah made that pandemic and corona of the last 2 years easy for us. It came and went. We never even felt it, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, our masjid, our ma'mulat, our ibadat continued, our Taraweeh, everything kept on going, alhamdulillah. We never stopped. So just as everything flowed through that pandemic period, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide us through this inflation period as well. Allah protect us. We have to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will provide. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين يا أرحم الراحمين. We thank you for all your ni'mats, for Iman, Islam, for Quran, for giving us the understanding of Arabic language and the understanding of Quran Sharif. Allah, help us to practice on Quran Sharif, to hold on to Quran Sharif, to read Quran Sharif as much as possible, to understand its meaning and message, and to propagate its meaning and message around the community. Accept our humble efforts. Be pleased with us. Allah, accept our roza, accept our Taraweeh, accept our humble ibadat, accept our zikr, fikr, our tilawat, our durud sharif. Allah, our etikaf. These young masoom boys have been sitting in etikaf for the past few days. Accept their etikaf. Allah, reward them in full. Give them the ability to behave properly and respect the masjid and adab of masjid. O Allah, and reward those who have been looking after us. O Allah, those who are doing all the khidmat of feeding and cleaning and everything, and those who have been doing the khidmat of these young boys by cooking food from homes and sending in, Ya Allah, food for them, da'wat for them, reward them in full in this world and in the hereafter. O Allah, and accept our humble du'as. Be pleased with us. Give us all those good things which your beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked from you, and protect us from all those evils from which he sought your protection. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصل اللهم وسلم على سيدنا